Psalms 103, let's go to verse 1. Oh, Lord. Bless the Lord, oh my soul, and all that is within me, bless his holy name. Bless the Lord, oh my soul, and forget none of his benefits. What are his benefits, Pastor Mike? Who pardons all your iniquities, heals all your diseases, redeems your life from the pit, who crowns you with loving kindness and compassion, who satisfies your years, I can preach this one, with good things, so that your youth is renewed like the eagle. Look at your neighbor, say, neighbor, I don't know about you, but I'm too blessed to not be thankful. You may be seated. I want to talk about too blessed to not be thankful. And the church said, sometimes we're waiting on God to give us something new. And then sometimes when God is waiting on us to notice when he already gave us a blessing. Thankfulness is not for people who have everything, but rather thankfulness is for people who recognize anything. And I came to park and submit and suggest to you this morning that you are too blessed not to be thankful. That when I look back over my life and think things over, at 40, I can share the sentiments of the songwriter. All of my good days outweigh my bad days. I got a reason to tell God thank you. And if we do a survey, we all may not have the same reason, but everybody in here got a reason just to tell God thank you. That's why I miss old school church. New school church is complicated. I got to give you a whole backstory on why God is good. Old school church, it was very simple. He woke me up this morning, clothed me in my right mind, gave me the activities of my limbs. They knew that every morning you got another day, you should pause and just tell God. And that's why I love Thanksgiving, because Thanksgiving is one of my favorite holidays, because it makes even the most selfish person at least say the word thanks. I want to talk about gratitude, and I want you to take really, really good notes. Put this in your notes. Gratitude isn't a reaction to blessings. Gratitude is the recognition of blessings. Gratitude isn't a reaction to blessings. Gratitude is the recognition of blessing. Most people think that I get the blessing, then I feel grateful. I get the blessing, then I feel grateful. But that makes gratitude a response to what you receive. Biblically, you might want to write this. Gratitude is a response to what you recognize. Gratitude isn't a response to what you receive. It's a response to what you recognize. If gratitude is only a reaction, then I only thank God when something big happens. If gratitude is only a reaction, then I only feel blessed when something new shows up. If gratitude is only a reaction, then the only time I worship is when I feel like I'm winning. But if gratitude is a recognition, it means I realize I'm blessed while I'm still in process. And I don't know who I'm preaching to, but there are two types of people sitting on your row. Some of y'all need something to happen in order for you to be grateful. But for some of us, I don't need nothing new to happen. I'm still trying to catch up with what has all. I wish I had 3 praisers at the first service who can just think back on how good God's been to you and say, here it is, if he don't do nothing else. He has already done enough. That's why I like this service a little bit more than all the other services, because at the other services, we have to pump them and pry them, and it's almost like a pep rally. Lift your hands, clap your hands, tell God thank you. But when you get up at 8 in the morning, you brought everything, but one thing you didn't leave at home is your praise. And I wish I had 7 people who can say, God, before I praise you for what you're about to do, I'm going to take some time and praise you for what you've already done. He's already made a way out of no way, already blessed me, already covered my family, already held me together. You ought to just touch 5 people and shout, I got a reason. Gratitude is not a reaction. That's why anxiety, that's why depression, that's why low self-esteem used to hit me so much. It was because I thought something had to happen in order for me to tell God thank you. I thought something had to happen in order for me to express gratitude. But hear me, gratitude is not a reaction. It is recognition. This is why gratitude does not start when something changes around you. Michael, gratitude starts when something clears within you. This is why David tells us, here it is, put it on the screen, bless the Lord. Oh, my soul. I could really preach that right there. Bless the Lord, Michael. Oh, my soul. But here's the part that we skip over, and forget not. I need you to underline that in your notes. This is the only part I'm going to get to today. Forget not. We're going to shout next week. We're only going to sit on this one line right here. He says, bless the Lord, oh my soul. This is good. And forget not. He is not saying, Lord, give me something to praise you for. He's saying, soul, don't act like God did not do enough already. All right, y'all being deep. Y'all being deep. We was emotional last week. Let's just have church today, okay? Look at what he says. Put it on the screen. Bless the Lord, oh my soul. Now you missed that. Who's talking? David. Who is David talking to? Himself. He's talking to the him within him. What is the soul, the mind, the spirit, the heart? He said, okay, I can feel depression, Michael. I can feel anxiety, Michael. I can feel me getting low. So he says, I'm going to have a conversation with myself. Because some of us have matured to a place that I ain't got time to wait on you to encourage me. David is also the one who said, if you don't do it, I've learned how to encourage. So he says, bless the Lord, Michael, oh my soul. I ain't preaching to everybody. I'm only preaching to 3 of y'all, and I come to make an announcement that my frustration with the church is that y'all act like God ain't been good. I'm gonna preach to 3 of y'all. David is telling his soul, don't act like God ain't been good to you. And 5 of y'all sitting in here, I can feel you on the verge of a pity party. It's Thanksgiving, you single, you trying to figure out where you gonna eat. It's getting cold, you ready to cuddle. It's Christmas, you trying to figure out how you gonna pay for stuff. Now at the end of the year, you sitting there like, this ain't been the year that I thought I was gonna have, and it seemed like it's all, shut up. Don't act like God ain't kept you all this time. And I know you got 3 degrees and you want to take notes. I took notes last Sunday. Every now and again, I got to command my spirit to bless the Lord. I wish I had 500 people who would just give God an already praise. I'm praising him because he's already good. I'm praising him because he's already kind. I'm praising him because he already opened doors. I'm praising him because he's already kept my mind. Don't act like God ain't. Yes. He says, bless the Lord, oh my soul, all right, I can't say this at no other service, Joe. So I said at this one, they too young at the other service. They may not know this. They rap crazy, okay? The new school rap, I like the way it feel. I just don't know what they say. It's just too fast. But it feel good. It's a vibe. I just don't even know what they saying. Old school rap, you knew what they were saying. They would say, don't push me cause I'm close to the edge. I'm trying not to lose. Then he was psycho. See, you knew what he was talking about. See, LL Cool J to me rapped Psalms 103. The LL Cool J, after he had been gone for a while and people were saying he wasn't who he was, he said, y'all must have forgot. Y'all don't hear what I'm talking about. And 3 of y'all gonna leave here today with a new pep in your step, because you're gonna have a conversation, Michael, with yourself. That's why y'all be trying to figure out, why do he be saying his own name when he be preaching? Somebody stopped me in the last city. Why you be saying your name like that? I said, because I was in a pandemic and I didn't have a church. And I was so programmed to hear somebody say, preach, preacher. And for the first time in my life, could nobody encourage me. So I decided I would just encourage Michael. Every now and then you gotta shout your own name out and be like, Lisa, bless the Lord. Oh my. Put this in your notes. And forget. It's on the screen. It's on the screen. And forget not. If gratitude is recognition, can you put this in your notes? The enemy's job is simple. If I cannot stop God from blessing them, I will blind them so they never see it. It's very simple. If gratitude is recognition, it's not reaction. That's what I'm trying to get you to realize. If you waiting to give God gratitude, then you're gonna be waiting a long time. Gratitude is not reaction, it is recognition. In other words, what I'm telling you, baby girl, is it's some good stuff around you. You just can't see it. If I cannot stop God from blessing them, I will blind them so they never see it. The enemy can't stop God from blessing you. What does he do, Pastor Mike? Is on the screen. So he attacks your memory, your focus, and your perspective to keep you from seeing, Michael, what God already did. We having church today. We having church today. The enemy can't stop God from blessing you. So he attacks your memory, your focus, and your perspective to keep you from seeing what God already did. So what does he do, PMJ? I may not get past this part today. We'll finish it this week. He attacks your memory. If he can corrupt your memory, he can control your mood. That's good right there. That's good. If he can corrupt your memory, he can control your mood. That's why Psalms 103:2 says, forget not, at the second time he says it, all of his benefits. Why would God keep telling his people to remember and do not forget if there was not a real enemy working to make them forget? Did you catch that? I want to be very clear. The devil is working overtime to get you to forget how good God has been to you. That's why your painful memories are more vivid than your good ones. That's why you remember the mean coworkers more than you remember the joy of getting a job. That's why you remember the stress of the relationship more than the bliss of the relationship. Why is that, PMJ? Because he attacks your memory. Number one, he attacks your memory through busyness. He attacks your memory through busyness. This is good. You live so fast that you never pause to process. Let's make these screens a lot bigger for the next service team, okay? So he attacks your memory through busyness. So what does that mean, PMJ? Put it on the screen. You live so fast that you never pause to process. You live so fast that you never pause to process. So what does that mean, Pastor Mike? You rush from one answer prayer to the next. I didn't do that right. I want to say that better for your notes. You rush from one answer prayer to the next problem. You don't pause to process what God has done. So God opens the door for you, and then you're on to the next situation you need him to fix, instead of stopping to realize how he just fixed what you was just stressing over. Are you hearing me today? This is really good. So hear me when I say this. Here it is. You move from one breakthrough to the next battle. So your life is blessed, but your mind is blank. A powerful biblical picture of living so fast you never pause to process is Martha in Luke 10:38-42. It's on the screen. But the Lord answered and said to her, Martha, Martha, you are worried and bothered about so many things. Look at verse 42. But only one thing is necessary. For Mary has chosen the good part, which shall not be taken away from her. Martha loved Jesus, but she was moving too fast to notice him. She wasn't in sin. She wasn't in rebellion. She was just busy. She was doing a good thing, but going at such a pace that she missed the God moment. Did you hear what I just said? She's doing a good thing, but she's moving at such a pace that she misses the God moment. Jesus never said her serving was wrong. He was checking her speed. Jesus never said her serving was wrong. He was checking her speed. I'm gonna say this, and three of y'all gonna receive it if you hear me in the spirit. Your problem ain't what you doing, it's how fast you moving. I don't think you heard what I just said. Your problem isn't what you're doing, it's how fast you're moving. See, Martha represents people who, put this in your notes, pour out so much. Pour out so much that they never get poured into. Let's put all of those on a separate slide next service, okay? So Martha represents people who pour out so much that they never get poured into. That can preach the three of y'all. My sermon almost over. I got baptism today. I can't preach the whole sermon because the two other services won't get it, so I got to keep everybody on the same curriculum schedule, okay? So Martha represents people who pour out so much, but they never get poured into. I used to feel like it was a badge of honor that I did all of the pouring until I realized I was empty. I'm gonna say this again. I'm gonna say this again. Whoever went and bought some juice from the store and the juice hit? Anybody? I'm talking about the juice hit. All right, the juice hit. All right, I'm gonna take y'all way back, okay? Now, all right, the juice ain't hit if you had to screw the top off. I'm talking about that juice where you had to open it like a milk carton. The millennials don't know what I'm talking about. Who know what I'm talking about? You open it like a milk carton, then you made that little triangle, then you went like this, and then you had to close that thing back, and the red juice you can kind of see it all over the little white carton thing, and you put that thing back in the refrigerator. See, I ain't talking about y'all new school juice. See, because y'all new school juice come in clear bottles. All right, no, see, there are two types of people. Some of y'all are clear bottle people. Some of y'all are old carton people. See, the clear bottle people, everybody around you can tell you running low because you tell them and show them everything. Some of us are so guarded that people don't know we empty till they try to come get something else from us. And what do people do with empty cartons? They throw them away. So you end up frustrated because you like, I poured myself out for you, and now that I ain't got nothing else to give you, you just gonna discard me when God has said, I am sending people who can replenish your spirit. Am I preaching to anybody? Martha represents people who pour out so much that they never get poured into. Next slide, okay? Watch this. Martha represents people who carry responsibilities without giving themselves recovery. Martha represents people, thank y'all so much, who carry responsibilities without giving themselves recovery. I'm gonna say this, I wish I had time to unpack all this, okay? I am so proud of you for how much you carry. But the question now has to be asked, when are you gonna recover? I thought Mason tore his knee up this time last year in February. We thought he tore his knee up. We had a 7-on-7 camp, and he's running, and every parent know their child. Joe, you done seen your child play enough that he was running, boom, he missed the ball. All of a sudden he went, and I never forget, he just did this. All he did was this right here. Then I saw him lip a little bit. I kept seeing him shake. I said, hey. I yelled on the field, hey, come here. On the field, I said, come here. Like, what's wrong? No, he tried to wave me off. I'm like, no, come here. I said, what's wrong? He's like, nothing, just feel a little weird. I said, look at me in my eyes. I said, we're not gonna play this game. Don't lie to me. I'm the only person in the world gonna protect you. Are you hurt? He's like, something don't feel right. I said, go sit down. Boom, all right, boom. So then we leave, and I could see the eyes watering, all right? I done been through this so much, I just asked him one question. Did you hear a pop? I didn't hear pop, Dad. I said, did you hear pop? No. Okay, boom. All right, let's go home. It's hurting. We icing it. We giving them pain medicine. It never swells. That's a good sign. I'm like, okay, boom. I called Dr. AG. I said, we need to come see you ASAP, man. Something going on. This is my baby. But when we get there, Mason had something called runner's knee. Okay, Pastor Mike, what's runner's knee? He had been playing, he would train 3 days a week. Practice 3 days a week. Then when we get to the tournament, he's doing offense, defense, nonstop. He had worked that knee so much, it was just extremely sore. He said, does he recover? I said, when we come home, he rests. He said, no. He said, I want you to buy this right here, put his legs in this after every practice. He need to recover. Do he do ice baths? He said, do you do know LeBron spent $1 million a year on recovery? And it made me think about the same way he was overworking his knee. Are you overworking your peace? Are you overworking your patience? You are now having to use your gifts in stuff that you shouldn't have even been in. So by the time a real battle show up, you ain't even got enough energy to do what God called you because you're doing what you want to. I don't think you heard what I just said. You don't have enough energy to do what God called you because you're always busy doing what you want to. Y'all didn't hear what I said? You so busy doing what you want to that by the time it's time to do what God called you, you feel like you ain't got no more want to. So you spend all your energy in conversations you shouldn't be in. You spend all your energy running to the aid of people who are going to be in the same place next year. You spend all your energy prophesying to people who won't even receive the gift. You spend all your energy interceding for people who could actually pray for themselves. So when now God calls you into ministry, you ain't got nothing left because you've been busy. Martha represents people who work for God without sitting with God. Martha represents people who stay busy, listen to me, so they don't have to feel what's going on the inside. Sometimes staying in motion becomes a coping mechanism. This is good. This is really good. Let's define coping mechanism, then I'm gonna give you my definition. The definition of coping mechanism is the habits, behaviors, or thought patterns we use to deal with stress, pain, disappointment, or pressure. Take really good notes. I only have 2 more pages. See, I can't preach the whole sermon to y'all, then 11:30 be like, he ain't preach that day, he had to do baptism. So everybody got to get a half a sermon today. No, but this is really good. What's the coping mechanism? Look at this. It is the habits, behaviors, or thought patterns we use to deal with stress, pain, disappointment, pressure. And it's not always toxic. Sometimes they're healthy, sometimes they're harmful. Pastor Mike, what's a coping mechanism you have in your life, honestly, when stuff gets stressful? I play PlayStation. I know that sounds so funny, but every time I've ever needed to hear God, I was playing the game. I cut the volume down. It's like my family even know it. I get on the game and I just play, no music. I don't even hear the sound. I just start playing. And it's almost like clockwork. It's like my brain shut off and I just start hearing stuff. Well, it's another coping mechanism that's not harmful. I like going to water. You know, I go to Gulf Shore somewhere and we just get on that water, we just sit there and I get to thinking. What's another coping mechanism you have that might be harmful? I eat. I coped this week. I found a place. I had a lot of stress on me and messed around, and the devil out of nowhere, DoorDash just sent like a thank you. DoorDash ever just pop up on your on your notifications? It was just like don't forget 15%. I was like, oh, I clicked it. And it was some type of whiskey burger place. I think that's the name of it, Big Whiskey. And they had like a goddamn chili cheese jalapeno hot dog. Y'all ain't seen that yet? They had like a jalapeno hot dog with a special sauce on it. And I sat down, I was like, you know all the stress I'm under? That must have been God that made me. I ordered 2 of them things with some chili cheese fries. Ask me what I did when they got there. Then I go on TikTok and I see the lady eating the. So I took the chili cheese fries, put that on top of the hot dog. I squished it together. I started coping. Now let me show you what's funny. Yours may be weed. I be setting y'all up so smooth. Y'all be like, ha, ha, ha. Yours may be, I need to get a drink. Yours may be, I'm gonna go buy me something, knowing you got bills. See, they're all harmful. Yeah. See, diabetes gonna get me if I don't stop. Weed is illegal. Alcohol, you can become drunk. You wasting your money to feel better when you know you got bills. We all use different things to cope. Either way, they're what we run to when life get heavy. So what's PMJ's definition? A coping mechanism is the strategy our soul adopts to survive a season it was never meant to live in permanently. That's heavy. That's heavy. A coping mechanism is the strategy our soul adopts to survive a season it was never meant to live in permanently. It's the bridge we build to get through a moment of pain, but it becomes a burden when we make it a lifestyle. You want to know the most harmless coping mechanism I have that can become harmful? My kids. When I get low, I just love being around. Like, I can't explain the joy. I wouldn't want to do anything else in the world. Riding 3.5 hours with Mason in the van, and we going to school, and he's just in there sleep. I just watched him sleep. I had fun just watching him sleep. Just watching this big old boy. I started going through my phone like, how did this little dude become this big old boy? And you just start going through your phones and going through different things like that, and you're looking at stuff. So then we get there, and I record everything. And he get out the van, and we walk in, and then we get there, he just walking around like, man, look at that. We looking at the college stuff, and we get to the football thing, and we get to the line. And so now I'm teaching them how to be independent. I said, when we get to that table, I'm not talking. You got to talk. They're going to ask you. You stand there. You do so-and-so. I'm going to stand over here. You tell them, hey, Mason McClure, got my father with me, got Kawan Mitchell with me, so-and-so, so-and-so. We get our little name bad. I'm just watching. And then we get on the game. See, me and like all my kids, we got different, me and Mace, we get on that game. Me and Mike, we talk bowling. Me and Xander just trip out. We went to a football game Friday, just me and Xander just watching the game. See, that's harmless. It becomes harmful when now I override their world so I can feel good. When you in their relationship too much because you scared you gonna lose them. What am I trying to show you? Anything that's harmless, if overdone, can be harm. So what am I trying to get you to realize? PMJ's definition, a coping mechanism is the strategy our soul adopts to survive a season it was never meant to live in permanently. Coping mechanisms don't always scream sin. Sometimes they whisper substitution. So technically I'm on that game, and being on my game ain't a sin, but I am subconsciously substituting prayer for the game. The game for prayer. See, it's substitution. So what really happens is I'm unsure. So what I probably should do is go to God in prayer. But so I substitute a spiritual thing for a natural thing. So hear me when I say this, they give relief. What's the problem, PMJ? You might want to write this, but they never deliver restoration. If we don't heal what hurt us, we will normalize what numbed us. Do I need to say that again? If we don't heal what hurt us, we will normalize what numbed us. Here's a word for someone. Put this in your notes, it's very deep. Slow down. Slow down. Slow down. I took those 8-9 weeks off of church, off of life, really. I want to slow down. My baby's healthy. I said, you know what? God, I'm gonna practice it before I preach it. I said, I'm gonna slow down. What if you lose money? I'm gonna slow down. Gotta restore it. What if you ain't hot by the time you get back? Gotta restore it. What if ain't no members left? Gotta restore it. I'm not gonna make y'all my coping mechanism. So what does slowing down mean, Pastor Mike? Put this in your notes. Slowing down means refusing to live at a pace that constantly outruns your peace. Slowing down means I refuse to live at a pace that constantly outruns my peace. Jill, I had to fix that. I was always on to the next Goliath. God would bring me out of something, then I'd just get into something else. God will open a door, then I get into something else. God would help me get over this mountain, I would run to another one. And after a while, I never forget my friend Pastor 83 said something to me that blessed me. He said, I think you're addicted to pain. He said it joking. He was like, I think you're addicted to pain. I said, what you mean? He said, every time I talk to you, it's like you trying to fight something else. He was like, you'll call me and be like, boy, you ain't gonna guess this. We just got to church. And I'll be like, oh, then you'll call me back 3 days later. I'm gonna fix all of it in 5 months. Watch what God do. And I'll be like, bruh, just sit still and just be grateful he got it. Then I call him again. I'm finna change the world in 36 days. Watch this. I'm gonna baptize 500 people in 45 minutes. And he was like, bro, you always moving at a pace that moves faster than your peace. Okay, I like practical. My brother preached this way better. He'll preach this part way better. I want you to catch this. I want you to do me a favor, okay? Who's ever had a phone that was about to die? All right, put your hand down. Who's ever had a phone that's about to die and you put it on the charger? Put your hand down. Who's ever had a phone that was about to die, you put it on the charger, but the charger wasn't close to where you could sit? Who's ever had a phone that was about to die, you put it on the charger, but the charger went where you were sitting, and then you looked over at it and wanted to do something, so then you just ran over there and stood by the charger. But your legs get tired, so what you do? Take it off the charger and then try to what? Get back on your phone. Therefore, you now are caught in a cycle. Instead of slowing down and letting the phone get what it needs. That's what you're doing. You can't hop out one relationship into another one. Let your peace refuel. You can't run from battle to battle. See, when you slow down, you trade reacting for reflecting. Noise for clarity. Motion for direction. Are you hearing what I'm saying? It is choosing rhythm over rush. Are you hearing me? So you can actually receive what God is doing instead of racing past it. What's your rhythm? When I tell you I'm in this sweet spot right now, I only got one more Mohican to climb, one more mountain to climb. It's this weight demon that's on me. That's all I gotta climb now, because food is a coping mechanism. When I get stressed, when I get overwhelmed, I just eat. That's who I am. So now I realize it's not just physical, it's spiritual. So now I'm dealing with that aspect of my life. Pastor Mike, why you tell us your problem? So you can feel normal. I got a good pace with my church. I got a good pace with my music. Got an incredible pace with the family. I found this sweet balance spot where me and the boys clicking, me and baby girl getting close. She mean. She like her mama, y'all. Y'all pray for, she mean. I'm talking about me. I tell her yes, I'm incredible. I tell her no. She just give me the coldest shoulder. So then I say yes again. It's just, I don't know what I'm trying. I'm just catching this rhythm. You got me? I'm in a good rhythm now where on wins, I don't get too high. So on losses, I don't get too low. Are you catching the rhythm? So what I'm realizing is slowing down isn't doing less. I would not slow down because I thought that meant I wouldn't do a lot. Slowing down isn't doing less. It's doing what matters with more intention. Slowing down isn't doing less. It's doing what matters with more intention. So when I tell you to slow down, I'm not telling you to stop doing everything. I'm saying stop doing everything and start doing the right things with intention. Are you catching me? Are you catching me? I had to put somebody good over that school. That school's a distraction for me. That's not a passion of mine. You got me? I feel called to it, but it's not a personal passion. So I had to put good people in place. If not, I would have been trying to be the pastor, the father, the husband, the school teacher. That ain't a passion of mine. Do you feel what I'm saying? So now I had to stop about a year and a half ago and realize, what do I need to do with intention? Are you catching that? I don't need to sit in staff all day talking about what's going to be on the screen and what this going to look like and what the video. No. I need to trust y'all to do that. We're going to lock in on this word. We're going to make the word the best it's ever been. So now instead of picking, I don't know what they singing for real on song lists. I used to sit in every staff meeting, pick every song, pick every transition, who was going to lead it, what they was going to wear. Sundays were that deep to me. Then I hit a sweet spot where I said, no, I'm going to trust y'all to do that part. Because if I lock in on this word, then I can be the best God wants me to be in my area. What I'm telling you is, you may offend some people over the next 3 weeks, but you need to stop being everything to everyone and start being the right thing to the right ones. Am I saying anything that can help you? So what does that look like? I gotta go. Spiritually slowing down looks like breathing room for God to speak. Spiritually slowing down is just finding room for God to speak. I need to find room. What day is your day where you cut that phone and I need God to speak? Do not disturb. You know what? One thing I'm gonna do is on my Tuesdays, my commute to work and from work, no phone, no music. See, don't be deep. Well, I'm gonna take me 3 days to, no, you ain't got time to do it. You got kids, you got life, you got bills. Let's not play. Y'all always want to be spiritual when it's, no, don't be, you ain't that spiritual. Let's not play that game. No, so what I'm telling you now is, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna get up at 5:30 on this day, and instead of starting at 6:30, I'm gonna get up an hour early, just walk around the house, play worship music. I'm gonna try to find room for God to breathe and speak. Number 2, what is it like? Emotionally slowing down looks like giving yourself space to feel and heal. I'm gonna say this so it can free some of y'all. It's some stuff that happened this year that hurt my feelings. Is that weak to admit? Who feelings get hurt? Who feelings get hurt by grown people you helping, then you almost feel weak to express that they hurt you? That don't stop. No, all my teenagers know we be 50. Hurt feelings. Like, I done raised this child, did all this stuff, and they gonna talk to me like that? They done lost their mind. No, so what I'm doing in this latter part of the year, after Thanksgiving, I'm finna take this little pause, not from church, but from a lot of life. So right now, the song I'm trying to have out by January, we're at the part of mix and mastering that. The plan for the first quarter, where I want the staff to be, where I want the church to be. I'm trying to have all that wrapped the week after Thanksgiving. So when December hits, I need a couple days to feel. You might want to put this in your notes. It's so simple what I'm finna say, but I'm always tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm picking, I think, like December 4th as a cry day. That's real. Like December 4th. I'm fluctuating between December 4th and December 6th. I'm gonna pick a day where I probably don't even need to say this publicly in church. I'm gonna just say it. I'm picking a talk stuff day. Because you gotta feel it. Do y'all want me to be fake or you want me to be real? So I'm picking a day where I'm gonna get with the person I trust the most, people I trust the most, and I'm gonna let it out. And so-and-so, this so-and-so, so-and-so. Truth is, I almost hauled off. I'm gonna talk. Because I need to get it out of my system. I'm be honest with you, that stuff just, it'll sit in you, and you'll look up and out of nowhere, you'll be popping it. Like you just, so hear me. So I'm gonna have a day where it's gonna be a 3-day experience for me. I'm gonna talk my stuff one day. I'm gonna cry the next day. Then that third day, I'm gonna give it to God. How am I gonna give it to God, Pastor Mike? I'm gonna write my letter. I'm gonna write my letter. I'm gonna write my letter about how I felt. I'm gonna write my letter to who made me feel whatever. I'm gonna write my letter to myself. Then I got this little thing I bought from Walmart, this little fire pit that's like $20-some, a little small fire pit. I'm gonna put me a little log in it. I'm gonna burn that letter because it ain't for them. And that's gonna be my way of giving that back to God. You catch me? We should have did an encounter to end the year. That's how we was raised. We were going 3-day retreats, these encounter retreats. So emotionally slowing down looks like giving yourself space to feel and to heal. You can play softly or I keep going. What does it look like practically? Practically slowing down looks like choosing priorities over purpose instead of allowing pressure to choose for you. It looks like slowing down, looks like choosing priorities over purpose instead of allowing pressure to choose for you. If I'm being honest, for some of us, we need to slow down because pressure is making all our picks. We always last minute. We always rushing. It's always a deadline we created. So what happens, Pastor Mike, at the last minute, the pressure makes you pick. No, I can't be with y'all right now. I gotta get this done. I gotta get. See, when you slow down, you don't lose time, you redeem it. Pastor Mike, how do I redeem time when I slow down? Because when your soul catches up with your schedule, everything gets back in focus. I don't think you realize how heavy of a statement that was I just made. I want your soul to catch up with your schedule. When that happens, everything gonna start working again. Focus, gratitude, creativity, faith, and strength. That's why those weeks I took off of church, to me, that was the first time I ever really told everybody no. Because normally when I take 4 weeks off of church, I'm still doing music and traveling. Or when I stop doing music, I'm going crazy hard with preaching. So everybody had to feel it. Management teams was mad, promoters was mad, concert venues was mad. God bless y'all. I really heard the Lord say, slow down. Slow down. If you really want to know my formula for slowing down, every time God does something that I did not expect or exceeded all my expectations, I stop. If he exceeded my expectation, that means he exceeded my maturity. So going to that award show and winning all 9 of them awards when I didn't think we was gonna get nothing really, and then having all that praise and going to this TV show and they telling you the best thing in the world. So then I'm walking through every event and they shaking my hand saying you the next big thing and you the greatest. No, I gotta stop. I'm not going back on the road so I can go to every city and they can tell me I'm all, so now it's feeding into my ego. No. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go home, take out trash. I'm gonna get in the carpool line. I'm gonna go dark long enough for all that praise to die so I can make sure I keep my heart and my integrity intact. You catch that? Father, I pray Psalms 103 over their life. Bless the Lord, oh my soul. And don't let us forget any of your benefits. Give us the spiritual maturity to slow down long enough for you to be everything that we need to be, God. I thank you right now for an incredible year. Yes, there were highs and lows, sometimes more lows than highs, but we're still here. God, I could have been dead sleeping in my grave, God, we could be outdoors, but God, you kept your hand on our life. So God, I thank you for being God and God all by yourself. All of you and none of us. It's in Jesus' name we pray, and everybody said,